What is up, degenerates? Welcome back to HypeCheck for yet another video for the UFC. In today's video, I'm doing a full card breakdown, going over each and every fight for UFC 291, Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier. As always, if you guys are new here, join the fam, hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to hit that 50k subscribe mark, so if you are new, it does help out the channel a lot. But before we get into anything, I want to give a huge shout out to the #1 sportsbook and casino available online. That is Stake. Thank you guys for sponsoring today's video, and all you guys watching this video. If you need a sportsbook to bet on, make sure to check out Stake. It is the best option. They have the best odds available online, the highest limits that I've seen personally for a sportsbook. Not only that, they also have a fantastic casino. If you do like playing slots, blackjack, and all that stuff, instant deposits, instant withdrawals, and exclusively for the HypeCheck fam, when you sign up using the code HYPE, I'll be giving you guys a $75 tip. Exclusively for you guys. That's the best sign up offer for Stake. And also, Stake has just launched in the US, so when you do sign up for the US version of Stake, use the code HypeCheck. The same offer applies, and not only that, I'll send you guys my VIP card, 100% free. All the odds that you're hearing in the video are coming directly from Stake. So after you sign up, message me on Instagram at HypeCheck Sports or on Twitter at HypeCheck, and I'll send you over that tip ASAP. Also, boys, please make sure to comment your favorite bets and picks down below, as myself and know a lot of the other viewers like discussing the picks in the comment section down below. And yeah, let's not waste any more time on top of the video. Let's do it. Kicking off the early prelims, we got Miranda Maverick going up against Priscila Cachoeira. Maverick is the favorite at -278, and Priscila is the underdog at +240. Maverick is looking to bounce back off a loss. Priscila, she's currently riding a 2-fight win streak, most recently a knockout win over Ariana Lipski. Maverick is coming to this fight on short notice, a classic striker versus wrestler matchup. Maverick is the wrestler and Priscila is the striker. Maverick will have an extremely easy game plan here, which is simply just land the takedown and wet blanket Priscila. That being said though, you guys know my rule. Don't back a female fighter over 2-to-1 odds unless it's Nunes or Valentina, and that same rule applies here. Priscila is a tough pressure striker, which Miranda does not do well against. However, while Priscila is the more aggressive and technical striker, she absorbs a whopping near 8 significant strikes per minute, and more importantly, has a 65% takedown defense. It's a favorite pass spot here, but I wouldn't be surprised if Maverick fumbles the bag on Saturday. Therefore, it's a stay away fight here. On to the next. Next up, we got Matthew Semelsberger going up against Uros Medic. Semelsberger is the favorite at -204, and Medic is the underdog at +180. Semelsberger is looking to bounce back off a split decision loss to Jeremiah Wells. Medic is coming off a knockout win over Omar Morales. And props to the matchmakers for making such a fun fight. Both guys are pressure-heavy strikers, so this one will inevitably end fairly quickly. Semelsberger will have the experience advantage and has the ability to land a takedown if need be. Medic, on the other hand, is the more technical striker, and while I think Semelsberger is the better fighter with the better gas tank, him being a 2-to-1 favorite is a bit disrespectful against such a dangerous striker, especially when you take into account Semelsberger's negative striking differential, which is dangerous against Medic. Betting-wise, Medic is extremely live for the upset in this spot, and I'll be sprinkling some money on him for Saturday. It's a dog or pass spot here. Closing out the early prelims, we got CJ Vergara going up against Vinicius Salvador. Vergara is the favorite at -147, and Salvador is the underdog at +131. Vergara is coming off a knockout win over Daniel Da Silva. Salvador, he's looking to bounce back off a decision loss to Victor Altamirano. Starting off with Vergara, he'll be putting out a higher amount of volume, will be the more accurate striker and absorbs less damage, along with having the better experience under his belt. Salvador, he'll have a 1-inch height and 2-inch reach advantage, but other than that, I don't really see where he'll have the advantage. Maybe because he's more wild, and I hate his striking defense. I hate that keep the hands low type style. I'll be backing the guy with more experience, who I think is the better overall fighter. It's a favorite to pass spot here with Vergara. Kicking off the prelims, we got Jake Matthews going up against Darrius Flowers. Matthews is the favorite at -256, and Flowers is the underdog at +220. Matthews is looking to bounce back off his split decision loss to Semelsberger. Flowers, he's currently riding a 4-fight win streak, making his UFC debut off a knockout win over Amirian Gogoladze. Matthews will have a 2-inch height and reach advantage in the spot. He has a weak chin and hasn't looked his best recently. Flowers, on the other hand, is coming into this one on short notice, and he's an explosive fighter. And similarly to Semelsberger, I don't think Matthews should be a near 3-to-1 favorite. Matthews, at his best, I guess a price tag would be justified, but you never know what you're getting with him when he hits the octagon. Betting wise, I like the value on Flowers here. However, he has just as many question marks as Matthews. I don't know how he'll perform against a UFC caliber fighter, or how his gas tank will hold up on short notice. This is the definition of a stay away fight betting wise. Do not parlay Matthews and don't lay serious money on Flowers. It's a dog or pass spot here, but stay away. After that, we got Roman Kopylov going up against Claudio Ribeiro. Kopylov is the favorite at -204, and Claudio is the underdog at +180. Kopylov is currently riding a 2-fight win streak, most recently a knockout win over Punahele Soriano. Claudio, he's coming off a knockout win over Joseph Holmes. Kopylov is an elite striker, having a lot of experience on the kickboxing scene. He has big power and is very technical with great striking defense. Claudio, on the other side of things, is a former boxer and has big power in his hands as well, and can land a takedown if he needs to. However, he does not have the best fighter IQ, and overall, to put plainly, Kopylov is a way better fighter, and I would even say he's a level above Claudio, and should finish him on Saturday inside the distance. It's a favorite to pass spot here, and a play I really like, if you boys couldn't tell. Next up, we got Derrick Lewis going up against Marcos Rogerio de Lima. De Lima is the favorite at -217, and Lewis is the underdog at +190. Lewis needs a win in this spot badly. He's riding a 3-fight skid, most recently a submission loss to Sergey Spivak. De Lima, he's currently riding a 2-fight win streak, most recently a decision win over Waldo Cortez Acosta. Lewis, he'll have a 2-inch height and 4-inch reach advantage, but other than that, as much as it pains me to say, as he's one of my favorite fighters, De Lima outmatches him everywhere. Whether it's the striking or the grappling, De Lima puts out a higher amount of volume, is the more accurate striker, and has better striking defense. He could also land a takedown or two if he needs to win a round, especially against Lewis, who has a 52% takedown defense. Don't get me wrong though, Lewis could easily get back to his feet when he gets taken down. He is super strong. But besides for a vintage Derrick Lewis KO, I don't see how he wins this fight. De Lima is just way more technical. It's a favorite to pass spot here. On to the next. Closing out the prelims, we got Trevin Giles going up against Gabriel Bonfim. Bonfim is the favorite at -312, and Trevin is the underdog at +265. Bonfim is a 25-year-old 14-0 prospect, most recently a submission win over Munir Lazez in his UFC debut. Trevin, he's currently riding a 2-fight win streak, most recently a split decision win over Preston Parsons. This one will be short and sweet. Bonfim is one of my favorite prospects in the division. He has great striking, has very good wrestling. He averages 3 takedowns a fight. Besides for Trevin's experience, Bonfim is better everywhere. I do like the over 1.5 rounds as well, as Trevin has proved to be very durable throughout his career. It's a favorite to pass spot here. On to the main. Kicking off the main card, we got Michael Chiesa going up against Kevin Holland. Holland is the favorite at -143, and Chiesa is the underdog at +126. Chiesa needs a win in this spot badly. He's currently riding a 2-fight skid, most recently a decision loss to Sean Brady back in 2021. Holland, he's coming off a knockout win over Santiago Ponzinibbio. Starting off with Chiesa, he's a very well-rounded fighter, but where he'll want this fight is obviously on the mat. He averages over 3 takedowns a fight, 54% takedown accuracy, and has slick submissions on the mat. On the feet, though, it's Holland all day. He'll be the more accurate striker, puts out way more volume, and is the harder hitter. Betting-wise, while I think Chiesa is the better fighter, he hasn't fought since 2021, and ring rust is a real thing in MMA, especially when you have a full-time job commentating for the UFC. The UFC loves Holland, and I think Chiesa, even though he's still relatively young at 35, is nearing his retirement to take a full-time job commentating for the UFC. It's a favorite to pass spot here with Holland. On to the next. After that, we got Tony Ferguson going up against Bobby Green. Green is the favorite at -370, and Ferguson is the underdog at +320. Ferguson needs a win badly in the spot, currently riding a 5-fight skid, most recently a submission loss to Nate Diaz. Green, he's currently riding a 2-fight skid, his last fight a no contest with Jared Gordon. What pains me more than fading Derrick Lewis is fading Tony Ferguson, one of the all-times in MMA, specifically the UFC, one of my all-time favorites. But I have no other option here. He's been going through non-stop drama outside of the octagon, DUIs, home troubles, among sketchy training practices, and at his old age of 39, this is likely his last time in the octagon. I would be shocked if he loses on Saturday and the UFC keeps him around. In Tony's prime, he murders Green, but in his current state, he can't even beat a washed-up Nate Diaz. Green can land takedowns in this fight, but there is no need to even go for a takedown. On the feet, he'll be the more technical striker, while be putting out a higher amount of volume. Should avoid the striking Tony has to offer, which is frankly just weird and sloppy. It's a favorite to pass spot here with Green. Tony just laid down those gloves. You're a legend. I just can't see you lose. Him take on more damage than he already has throughout his career. Next up, we got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson going up against Michel Pereira. Thompson is the favorite at -143, and Pereira is the underdog at +129. Thompson is coming off a win over Kevin Holland via knockout. Pereira off a split decision win over Santiago Ponzinibbio. Starting off with Wonderboy, one of the best strikers in the division. Even at the age of 40, he's still unreal. He's fought the who's who of the division and has a fantastic gas tank. Pereira, on the other hand, will be putting out a higher amount of volume and will be able to add takedowns in this spot to win rounds. Betting-wise, if Pereira comes into the octagon with a game plan, which to be frank is pretty unlikely as he tends to be fairly wild in the octagon. However, he's only 29. He's improving every time he hits the octagon. Betting-wise, if you think this will be a purely striking fight, Wonderboy is close to a lock. Personally, though, I don't think that's how the fight will go down, and I'm going against my gut here, backing the younger fighter who is probably less skilled and not as good, but he's just at a totally different point of his career, and like I said, he's improving every time he hits that octagon. For me, it's a dog or pass spot here. I wouldn't be shocked if he loses. Honestly, the smarter bet is probably with Wonderboy. But like I said, I'm going with the youngins this card. Now, we go to the co-main event of the evening with Jan Blachowicz going up against Alex Pereira. Jan is the favorite at -114, and Pereira is the underdog at +101. Jan is coming off a draw to Magomed Ankalaev. Pereira, he's looking to bounce back off a knockout loss to Izzy. Both fighters are power punchers. Pereira, he'll have a 2-inch height advantage and 1-inch reach. He's a weathered kickboxer and beat Izzy 3 times, making his lightweight debut on Saturday off that loss. He'll be the more technical striker, while be putting out a higher amount of volume, and is the more accurate striker. Betting-wise, I'm very split on who to back. I think the UFC wants Pereira in this spot. However, you can't always back the storylines and who the UFC wants to win. Jan is the more diverse fighter. He can implement a wrestling-heavy game plan, similarly to how he fought Izzy, with a lot of success against Pereira. And let's not forget, Pereira got flatlined a couple months ago, so he may be coming back a bit too soon against the Polish power. I'm taking the shot on Jan here at near even money. He just has way more MMA experience and is extremely durable. It's a favorite to pass spot here. It's very likely that Pereira gets that knockout, but for me, this fight will go the distance, and if that's the case, I gotta pick Jan, who's just way more diverse. It's time for the main event of the evening with Dustin Poirier going up against Justin Gaethje. Dustin is the favorite at -145, and Gaethje is the underdog at +128. Dustin is coming off a submission win over Michael Chandler. Gaethje off a decision win over Fiziev. A rematch from 2018, previously a win via knockout by Dustin. Both guys are brawlers. This is must-watch TV, boys. If this was the only fight on the pay-per-view, I would be buying it. A fight I highly doubt goes the distance. Similarly to how this fight happened the first time around, I think Dustin will get the win. While both these guys have improved since the last time they fought, I still think Dustin is the better fighter. He's more durable, takes less damage, and is the more technical striker. Betting-wise, give me Dustin all day here in a favorite to pass spot. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to join the hundreds of other members cashing in weekly in the VIP fam, so click the link in the top comment section or description. Shout out once again to Stake for sponsoring today's video. If you need a sportsbook to bet on, make sure to check them out. Use code HYPE when signing up, and I'll send you guys a $75 tip. Stake also newly launched in the US, so if you go to the US version of Stake, use the code HYPECHECK for that same offer of $75. Whether you sign up for Stake or the US version of Stake, I'll send you guys my VIP card 100% free. All you guys got to do is message me on Instagram for the tip and the card, and I'll send it over to you guys ASAP. Make sure to comment your favorite bets and picks down below. Good luck, boys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.